Close your eyes, come to me, feel alright. Just dance with me all through the night. Turn it out, close to you. I feel good, 'cause I just know feeling of you. Give it to me, baby. Feel alright. I feel good. Just want you step with me, dance with me, here with me, feel alright. I feel good on you, alright. To make a groove all night. Close your eyes, come to me, feel alright. Just dance with me all through the night. Turn it out, close to you. I feel good, 'cause I just know feeling of you. Give it to me, baby. Feel alright. I feel good. Just walk your step with me, dance with me, here with me, feel alright. I feel good on you, alright. To make a groove all night. Feel alright. I feel good. Just want you step with me, dance with me. Feel alright. I feel good on you. Alright. Make a groove all night.
All right. All right. It is finally time for me to get back into this. I've been away for a little while. I've just had a lot of little things come up during my normal stream time. And the holidays kind of make it a little bit difficult to you know, do your normal everyday stream stuff. Is this the next track? I don't think it is the next track, is it? No, it's not. This is the next track. Come on. Okay. Well, all that being said, which is not a lot being said, I'm gonna try to stream back on my normal schedule again. Get back into it a little bit, because I have been dying to draw, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like when you have things like the holidays kind of like interrupt your normal schedule, it does make it a little bit hard to get back into things the way that you want to. And I feel like it's pretty easy for you to I don't know, like I guess put less value into what it is that you're doing. And we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about that. But for now, because I am starting nearly an hour later than I normally do, I'm just gonna get started and we're gonna talk. Oh, that's the wrong screen. This is the screen. But yeah, last time we did this page, I am very happy with the way this page turned out. We've got this page to work on today, which is fairly simple. There's some very easy panels in here. But we do have this bottom right panel here is a One Punch Man reference. It's a nod to one of the big One Punch panels. It's a pretty famous one. So like, in no way, shape, or form would you look at this and assume that this is not anything but that. So I did try to make that clear. But yeah, we're just gonna get started. And then yeah, I'll just kind of talk a little bit about how things have been going. What I'm planning, because I have a little bit of a busy day ahead of me. I want it to be in all caps, and I don't need this layer. I only need 2 layers for this. All right. So my I also need the right brush. There we go. I mean, my holiday went well. I spent it with some friends, some very close friends. Yeah, I can't really complain. It was pretty chill. I had to do basically no cooking at all and not very much cleaning either. So that was really nice. That's something that, you know, you can't always ask for during the holidays. Whoa, what was that? Did y'all see that? That was weird. That was so weird. Anyways. The holiday went well. It was kind of like an extended 2-day holiday. It was like Thursday, Friday. So that is like the main reason why you did not see me on Friday. Which I kind of anticipated would happen. And then Saturday, what happened Saturday that I wasn't even here? That's a really good question. In fact, I might be able to answer that. What did happen? Oh, you know, I remember now. I had to drive the wife to work, which isn't a big deal. But an old friend of mine, who actually is a streamer, a little bit more of a real streamer than me. But anyways, they invited me to catch up with them and play some Arc Raiders, which I've been having a good time with. And I noticed that they had played some and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. That was great. It was really nice to. I feel like it's really nice to talk to friends that you don't really get the chance to talk too much with. You know, keep those connections, those friendships alive. So yeah, sorry, had to prioritize that. Had to prioritize gaming over drawing there for a second. But no, I mean, it was. I feel like especially during the holidays, you know, you appreciate being around your digital friends too, because they were friends of mine from quite a long time ago, but now we essentially live on the other side of the country, so it is what it is. This might be too big, huh? I feel like the hair needs to start a little higher here. And maybe not go so so far, you know what I mean? Another thing too is because I thought I would be back Saturday or Sunday, and then I wasn't back for either of those days. Whoops. I'm trying to remember what I did Saturday. I did something Saturday, and I don't remember. Oh, yes. No, I didn't do anything Saturday. So this is kind of what I was going to talk about, where this nearly happened again today, and I wanted to wake up early, and I did not wake up early. And I feel like it's important to talk about some of this stuff because what I am like building my image and I don't know, any sort of credibility is based off of like honest to God honesty. Like that's what it is. It's just being really real, really honest and not really shying away. And so some of that has been like Sunday was a really like hard day for me, and I made a short about like, oh man, like some days like it just sucks to draw. It just sucks. You don't want to do it, and it happens. And like I woke up later than I wanted to, and then I was like not really feeling very good. But I think the important part is that like sometimes you get those days, and it might be okay to just be like, this is not gonna be the day. It's bad enough that like it's just not gonna happen today, so I'm gonna let myself like do whatever it is, whether it's like bed rot or just like sit and watch a show for a long time or read a book or whatever it is that like kind of keeps your mind distracted. But then be like, I'm not gonna do that tomorrow. I will let myself do it today, but I cannot let myself do that tomorrow. And then I don't stream on Mondays or Tuesdays because those are my days with the wife. And so at least the good news is that following that, I was like, well, if I can't stream on Mondays and Tuesdays, because I don't really want to be bothering her, just like talking to myself like a weirdo. Then what I will do is at the very least like work on some pieces and be able to record some of them so then they can be videos. So I do have some stuff that's coming out. Like I have a few shorts that are coming out, but I think I'm only like scheduled until Thursday, which is not very. That's tomorrow, so that's not very long at all. But after this stream, I just have to record a couple of things, and I have a couple of full-length videos. I have to cut up some shorts of them and stuff, but I don't need to do that here. I just need the teeth. Then I actually have something to work with. So I made a lot of progress regardless. It's just something that you guys wouldn't be able to see for a little while. Whoa. Still got that like, I don't know, tired, sleepy mouth. I mean, you can probably hear it in my voice a little bit, but yeah, it was still productive regardless. The yeah, and so like I mentioned earlier, I slept a little longer than I wanted to today, and I do have like some real life stuff to take care of. Nothing crazy, nothing that's gonna be taking up too much of my time. But I also I have to record some of this stuff and edit it. So I don't know that it'll be like the longest stream of all time, but I do want to get some stuff done because it was tempting today to just be like, what if I don't stream again? But I'm like, that would have been over a week of not streaming, and like I have limited myself to not drawing any of this off stream. So the main thing is that like I want to get this done. I really want to get this done. If I want to get it done, I gotta stream. And so I kind of let myself have a little bit of time to be like, I gave myself like an hour once I had like gotten up to do nothing at all. But I was like, when that hour's up, like you gotta do stuff. You gotta like take care of yourself. You said you were gonna do a thing, you gotta do it, man. And so that's kind of how my day has been so far. And that's okay. I think that's okay. I don't really mind that that's been the case. I don't know, I feel like it can be a little tough sometimes, for all artists, but I feel like especially when you're not a working artist, it's a little tougher to always keep that motivation like 100%. And I think for a little while I was doing a really good job. Like I was consistently streaming, I was doing everything I needed to do, and I feel like when you have small like not schedule, like a small routine hiccups, whether that's holidays or something else, it does get a little harder to like get back on that train the way that you were, so I think that was part of why I felt so crappy on Sunday that I just didn't want to do anything. And the nice thing is that like Monday, Tuesday, I got a lot of other random stuff done that I feel like I can stream pretty well and like get stuff done. Here's the hiccup, okay? So I gotta check the times for this. I don't lie on stream. The notorious liar. That's me. That's what they call me. Okay, so tomorrow. Okay, well I might still be able to stream, but just not as long, because tomorrow and Friday I have art markets, and they start about an hour or two after I normally end stream. But that still means I have to end stream a little bit early because I gotta get all my stuff, I gotta pack it up, and usually you gotta get there early so you set up. And the earlier you get there, usually the better chance of getting a good spot. So I do want to make sure that I'm there nice and early, and that I can set up appropriately, because I also I want to make sure that I appear pretty professional to these people putting on the event. I don't want to show up just whenever or show up like 10 minutes late or something. So I'm still gonna end stream early just to be safe, because I feel like another big part of it is like preparing for the actual event. Some of that is like just making sure you eat beforehand, It's like I don't eat on stream or anything. So I usually will eat before stream and then after stream. And so it's like I also have to consider the time it takes for me to like make myself some food and eat that food, and then like make sure I have something while I'm there too. It's a lot of little things I gotta remember. And I feel like generally I always forget something. I always forget something, whether that's to eat, whether that's my chair, which that happened last time. Um, whatever it is. But I want to try to be a little bit more careful this time around. Um, yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on, at least. It's not like the most amazing news or whatever, but it is what it is. And I feel like just being able to say, like, yeah, this is the reality of like how I'm feeling, and that's okay. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep moving. Um, and I think, like, especially with all the stuff that I say where I'm like trying to motivate other artists, and usually it's geared towards beginner artists. um I think it's important to be like, yeah, like if you're feeling that way, that makes sense, because I will be feeling that way sometimes too. You know what I mean? um so there's no shame in like being a beginner artist and like feeling any number of those things that you might be feeling, whether that's like imposter syndrome, or whether that's like, I just feel like crap today, and I didn't draw all day and now I feel bad because I didn't draw all day. All that stuff is normal. All that stuff is stuff that artists better than me or like me feel as well. But I think that slow building of like consistency, that's the key. That's definitely the key. Because that has kind of helped me to like, all right, well, I fell off the train for a little bit. I'm back on the train again. And there are more roadblocks coming my way. Like I said, the art markets are going to prevent as much streaming as I wanted to in the past. That's okay. And then I do have some more holiday stuff coming up. Like, there is a weekend, the weekend of the 12th, I won't be streaming at all. And then that following week, up until about Friday, maybe Saturday, it may be that I'm gone for like a whole week, because I have like family visiting and things like that, and I'm just gonna not be in town. And so there are roadblocks like that where it's like that's gonna disrupt my routine, and it will be harder to like jump back on that train, because I was already not streaming for a little while. Like, why not keep it going? It's easy to fall into that mentality. And yeah, any artist out there, like, don't feel too bad if you kind of fall into that a little bit, because it happens. It happens to the best of us. I mean, the good news is, and I talked about this before, I think that on the last stream, is like I had that short do really well, and I mean, I think by maybe a lot of people's standards, it's not crazy. It's not that crazy. Like 10K views is not an insane amount in this day and age, but it is for me, and I think that I don't really judge my own growth based off of what other people think is a big number. And so I'm happy to like see that the channel is like slowly growing and slowly doing better. And so I'm trying to not lose sight of that, not let that fall behind. Because aside from like working a decent paying job, doing some artwork, it's about like the most successful thing that I've been able to create all on my own. And that's not to sound depressing. Like I love that. I love that. I'm like, if other people think that's lame, I don't care. I'm happy with my channel, and I want to keep that going. So that's a big motivator for me. Especially because I feel like the channel I think is about 2 years old or something like that, but I didn't really start until like earlier this year to like really put in some effort. And it wasn't until let's see, I guess maybe like August or like July or something, I don't know, something around there. It wasn't until then that I was like actually trying to upload something every day and stuff like that. So like, I don't know, doubling your subscribers in a day is that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. Even if it's not a huge amount by the end of it all, it's like, that's still something that I'm happy with and stuff. And so I'm trying to make some more stuff like that. That's something that you'll see a little bit more. And in the next coming days, days, I guess, just a few days away. I was wondering if it was going to be weeks, but no, I don't think so. But yeah, I feel like it's important to, when you're down, when you're not feeling super great about like what it is that you're doing, you take some time to like recognize what has gone well recently. And even if you're like, well, that's not a big number anyways, it's like you gotta slow down and be like, well, is it a big number for you? Is it something that's important for you? Because it doesn't matter what other people might think if you tell them like, oh, I have just under 400. Like, sure, maybe just under 400 is not actually that big of a number for subscribers, but like compared to where you were just a few months ago, maybe it is, I think it's important to recognize like the trends too. It's like, yeah, 400's not a lot right now, but if I keep it up and the growth continues the way that it's going, that 400 could be a lot more. So we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? When I look at the like channel partner goals, I'm like, dang. There's like a few of these that I'm like, these are easy as hell. Like that's no problem at all. But there's like one huge one. There's one huge one because most of my views come from shorts, and that means that the amount of views that you need is a lot higher to ever become like a partner. And I think it's like 10 million. And I'm like, whoo, that's too big of a number for me to even think of, man. I think there's like another little I don't know what to name the layer, but like there's like another little layer that I want to do where I just kind of like make him look a little bit more stressed, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like these lines that like will show up. I feel like you see them in manga a lot, but I don't know if I'm like doing them right. I feel like I might want a reference for like what that might look like, but let's just kind of give it a shot and see what happens. Because I do want him to look like shocked and like emphasize that a lot more. Okay, sorry, I'm thinking a lot while doing this, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, especially because of the content that I make, I'm like, it's important for me to like say something that's like, oh, like I said I would be live Saturday and I wasn't live Saturday and I wasn't live Sunday. It's like, why is that? Saturday I had a good reason. Sunday, not so much, but I think it's just as important to bring it up, you know? I've brought up harder stuff on my channel already, you know, so it's like, I don't think there's a point in me shying away from something like that. Okay, I think I'm getting the right idea here. Okay. I'm gonna extend these lines. Yeah, and I hope that, like, even if not today, even if nobody hears it today, maybe at some point somebody kind of hears that, sees that, and goes like, okay, yeah, maybe I bed rot today. Today is not gonna happen. Tomorrow I'll make something good. Tomorrow I'll make up for it. I think it's okay to give yourself a 0 day. I just think it's hard when it's like I think you gotta acknowledge that like the next day it'll be a little harder to like get up and do something because you just like drop the routine for another day. You know what I mean? Um you gotta have like a decent amount of like self-control to be able to like still pull something like that off, but you can do it, man. Like, you know, you can do it. A big part of it is just like have some faith in your own self and like believe that you can overcome it, and you will. I think it's also like it's very much a neuro spicy person thing. I find it crazy too, because like at this point I'm like, who isn't a little bit? But they exist out there. I'm like, dang, dude, good for you. You got nothing. You got nothing at all. You're probably not that interesting, but like, you're probably productive as hell or something. I don't know. Does that make sense to have it in there? I think what it also needs is like maybe one additional layer of tone to add like dramatic lighting to it all. Something like this. Some kind of like harsh lighting that'll kind of emphasize that dramatic tone. Um, Well, we can move on from that topic for a little bit. Talk about something totally random. Um, today, today's Spotify Wrapped came out, and can we just start out by saying fuck Spotify? Um, so I use Tidal. Um, I like Tidal. I think Tidal is, in general, a superior platform. Um, there's few complaints I have about it, but I'll name them, I guess, because like I would love to convince people to use Tidal more, considering how bad Spotify is getting. Just with some of their practices and also just that garbage CEO. But okay, so here's what I don't like about Tidal that I think are like generally something that probably will be fixed if they know what they're doing, and I think they do. And they're not like glaring issues. Okay, so number one, if you're creating a queue, and if you ever use Spotify to like look at what's next in the like queue, and you drag and adjust stuff a little bit, there's a nice little feature in Spotify where you can like swipe to add something to the queue, to like the immediate queue, or you can swipe to actually remove it from wherever it is. It just won't play. That's not in Tidal. You still have to like drag everything one by one. That's a little bit annoying. Number two, and this one I think is the biggest deal, is there's not, from what I can tell, a good way to find like what new music is coming out from the artists that you listen to. And I think Spotify had something like this, and then they like made it worse. They made it worse at some point. I think like either early this year or last year or something. I don't remember. Because I remember in Spotify it was really good. There was like a what's new thing, and then any like artist that you listen to or follow, it would tell you like, hey, they put out this, they put out that, they put out this. And then you would see like over the last week or month what is new. That was great. Now that doesn't really exist in Spotify. They kind of have this like, they kind of have a what's new thing, but they're throwing in a bunch of stuff that they want you to listen to. Like, if you don't listen to Ariana Grande, you don't listen to like the mainstream pop thing, you're still gonna get that stuff in there. Doesn't matter. They're just like, hey, listen to this, you know? And I think it's okay to have something like that, but also it would be nice to just have the one where it's like, what's new from the people I listen to? Because there are times where I would go to the Spotify, like, what recently came out, what's at like top of the charts right now that people are listening to. I would still go there sometimes to see what was up, you know. So it's not like I never use that feature. It's just that most of the time I do just want to see like what's coming out from the artists that I listen to. That really isn't a thing like at all in Tidal, or at least I've not found it, if it exists. So it's not even like very well displayed if it exists, but I don't think it does exist. That I think is fairly easily fixable, because I think they do have the capacity to do it. Like, they have a thing where they feature small like indie artists or like independent artists, I think. And that's cool. I like that they do that. Honestly, I have not used that feature very much, just because once I like switched over to Tidal, I haven't really been listening to a ton of new music. I get the itch sometimes, and I am starting to get that itch where I'm like, all right, I need something new. So I might like try some of that out and see if there's anything that I do like in there, and see how good of a feature that is. Because I feel like if you're gonna feature some independent artists, like there are people who are still gonna be not super into that. They want what's like big and popular, but maybe they give that a chance. And if they do give that a chance, I'm like, you gotta make sure it's good. You gotta make sure it's good stuff in there. So we'll see. I'll try it out at some point. But that tells me, I'm like, you guys have the ability to do this from what I can tell. I know that like platforms now, there's all this weird stuff with like developers not being able to do certain things, even though it seems like they should. I've worked in the field long enough that it's like, just listen to the developers. They kind of know what's best a lot of the time. And that's coming from a person whose most recent title was a UI UX designer. Okay, most of the time, just listen to the goddamn developers, man. There's a reason they hate you so much, because you don't listen to them. Anyways, getting distracted. It seems to me like they have the ability to do that. I don't think that'll be an issue for super long, especially as the platform starts to grow. They did have their like version of Spotify Wrapped come out a few days before. It's not in the app. It's not in the platform. I think that an email, and I didn't check the email, but I did check it like in the app, because there's a little thing that will like come up, but then it takes you to a website that'll give you your info. And like, I've not really been an enjoyer of the branding of Spotify Wrapped. I think it's intentionally a little sloppy and lazy. I get it. I get that that's the vibe. I think it's a bad vibe. I did see the Spotify Wrapped this year, and I think it's significantly better. I actually saw it and I was like, this is not bad. This is not bad at all. Titles is about as bland an infographic as you can get. It's super, super, super clean. And I don't think that's to their advantage. In fact, like, you just kind of scroll in this page, and it's like, you listen to this amount, you did this. I feel like it like takes all the info that is fun about Spotify Wrapped, even if you hate the branding, and then just sucks the fun out of it. It takes all the like data, and it just sucks all the fun out of it, because it's like, it's just a black background with white text, and it's presented cleanly, but it's like, it's not that interesting. So I was like, oh, that's cool that this is here, but I'm like, it's not really that cool. I'm gonna add a few lines here as well. They need to be thinner. So there's some stuff there where I feel like they do really need to work on it. And like, for the most part though, I feel like the experience in Tidal is a lot better. There's only one bug I've had, and this could just be a me thing, because I have like a little Chromecast in my bathroom, which is probably not the smartest thing to do, but it plays when I take a shower. Okay, I listen to music in the shower, and it's away from the water or whatever, but like, surely the steam is not helping, because it did just kind of crap out on me last time. It was like making some crazy noises. But anyways, the only like bug that I run into is that speaker, sometimes when I connect to it, it just continues playing out of my phone. That is the biggest bug I've run into. And I can like get around it, because if you just go to like the Google Home app, you can cast your phone audio from any app, and that works just fine. Maybe it's got to select this one. I don't know. Yeah. I think that should be fine. Oops. So it's not that big a deal. The benefits to Tidal. The app is really clean. It's really easy to use. You can. I knew that you could kind of like transfer your playlist, but it was significantly easier than I thought. You do like if you're a crazy playlist person like I am, like I have some playlists with like thousands and thousands of songs. You might have to pay like $5 one time for like a month of this one service that'll transfer your playlist for you. For me, I was like, I think it's worth it. It doesn't really bother me too much that I might have to pay one time for this. So I kind of want to redraw this little part here. So let's see how we can do that. Let's go over here to the this is the thing I'm working on here. Sorry, I have to think a little bit here. But in general, I think the experience is pretty clean in the app. I think it's really easy to transfer your playlist, which is awesome. It was a little bit confusing for like one brief second, and then I realized that I was just being dumb and that it was already done. Like it was a lot faster than I thought it would be. So that's like a big plus. Is that like the playlist transfer thing is one thing I was super worried about. Like the one thing that didn't get transferred, obviously from there are some songs that are on Spotify that are not on Tidal. That's annoying, but as somebody who has maybe like 5 to 10 playlists a year, and each one has about minimum 8 hours of music. A lot of the times it's pretty different from one to the other. There's definitely some bleed through, but it's pretty different from one to another. And I've used the platform for, I believe, 7 years now. So that's about 70 playlists that long. And then on top of it all, I have one playlist that has actually hit the song max, which is 10,000 songs. And then continued that one on a different playlist, so that's like slowly building up again, and then have another one that's like maybe about halfway to that max, and then maybe like 12 more playlists on top of all of that. Like that's a lot of playlists, that's a lot of music. I think there's like three pieces of music that I was like, damn, I can't believe this isn't on here. One was like a piano album by a woman by the name of Mary Carroll. One is it's a Japanese band called Back Cover, I think is what it's called. It's just Back Cover and then with an exclamation mark. They're not on Tidal. I think there's somebody else. But everything else that wasn't like added on there, I was kind of going like, oh, I think this got removed from Spotify at some point anyways. So not that big a deal that it's not here. So in terms of the music that doesn't get transferred, I think you're probably not going to run into that too much as an issue. I don't think it's really an issue at all. What else? Can I remove this for a second? I think I need to check something. I want to use this mirror as a reference really quick. Sorry. Sorry. Let's throw this back on here so I can kind of get an idea of where things are gonna go. I don't know, maybe we try something different. I'm gonna get rid of this. Maybe we do something totally different here. Maybe we do it like this. Trying to think what else is important about title. Oh, I mean, like probably one of the biggest things is that like they're not so terrible for their artists. I don't think they're the best platform still, but they are one of the best platforms. Like if you want streaming, if that's what's important to you, it's probably the best one to use. Cause like I used to not be a streamer person. I used to be like I want to buy the music and stuff, and then the sheer amount of music that I was listening to was so great that I was like I would be broke. I'd be broke. I started streaming music, and yeah, the amount that I started streaming just became so much that I was just like, well, I guess I'm a music streamer now. It sounds weird to say while I'm actively streaming because it makes it sound like I'm a music producer who streams, but it's not what I mean. You get it. You get it. Okay, I'm trying to like think about the water a little bit here too. So, you know, they don't pay their artists simply fractions of a penny for 1,000 streams or something. So that's good. They have lossless audio, and I think Spotify does now too. They finally decided to, but clearly it's a push to like, hey, don't leave, you know? But yeah, it's like I don't know. I think it's okay to leave Spotify because they don't have that great lossless audio. I don't know if they have it on everything either. I think it's kind of limited at this point, which is to say that like it is limited on Tidal based off of whether or not the artist uploads like a high quality version of the music. Sometimes you'll get to one and you'll be like, oh, well, this was released in like 2005. And yeah, all they've got is a low quality audio because the high quality one isn't out there right now. They didn't upload it. So, you know, there's that. There is that. But in general, I would say that the majority of the music is going to be lossless or at the bare minimum, a higher quality. So, I think that's important to note. That might be about it, though. That might be about it. The experience, though, is like pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. It's just black instead of green and black, you know? It's black and white instead of green and black, yeah. So, see, was he like bleeding or anything out over here? Just trying to get an idea. Something like that. And then I think here, let's just grab this. We can move it a little bit this way. Actually, I don't think I need this layer. I think we just play around with this the way it is. We start with EU. And move over here. But yeah, in general, I actually think that it's a lot better to do it that way. If you are a musician and for some reason you're not uploading to Tidal, you should. You should. And honestly, it seems to me like they value the independent artist way more than Spotify does. Like, I hardly see a reason to upload to Spotify aside from the fact that it probably has the biggest audience. But I think even so, getting, I don't know, maybe a tenth of the streams on Tidal will probably pay you more. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because just how little you get paid on Spotify is just not worth the effort to upload there. I don't know. I'm kind of just talking out of my ass a little bit, so I'll be real. I don't fully know that all of this is true, but from what I've heard, from what I've seen, it seems like that is the case. So, yeah, I think the truth is that you're just gonna have like a slightly harder time finding new releases from artists, a slightly harder time with your queue if you use the queue feature, and a less cool Spotify Wrapped for the time being. There was an application that I saw for a job at Tidal recently. And I don't know, I might have applied for it, I might not have applied for it. I don't, because I think I remember it, I was like, I don't know if it was like, oh, this is maybe something I'm not totally qualified to do, or if it was like, this isn't really the work that the kind of work that I do. But I'm like, yo, we need to fix that Tidal end of year thing stat. One thing they do that is cool is they actually do that every month. Like, they did this one for the end of the year, but they actually send you like an email every month regarding like, oh, here's your listening trends or whatever, like here's who your top artist was in November, that kind of stuff. So I'm like, that's cool. Like, I think they recognize that it is an important part of the experience now. It's just that there's no style to it, you know, there's no style to it at all. And I think like it's really not that hard to beat out Spotify in general when it comes to that stuff, because I think their branding for it generally sucks. This year it was not bad. I think I was a little bit more impressed with what they did. I think it just kind of killed me a little bit because so I switched to Tidal this year. And oh, here's the other thing that sucks. No podcasts. No podcasts on Tidal. I don't normally use podcasts, but my wife does, so she's still used Spotify for a little bit longer than me. But basically, we'll be fully switched over next year. And the Spotify Wrapped that I got was like for earlier parts of the year. It's funny because it's like it shows a few months, and then at a certain point, it's like zero stream, zero stream. You did not stream at all these months, which is whatever. I guess one thing that is a little nicer about Spotify. So I think they have a way where you can like private stream, where you can like stream music. And I think this is if you're embarrassed for something to show up on your Spotify Wrapped. I genuinely think this is the only purpose, because you can do like a private stream. It won't count towards your Spotify Wrapped, and it won't show to your friends that you're streaming this music. So like if you're embarrassed to listen to Gwen Stefani, do so guilt-free with this feature, right? I actually do wish it was part of Tidal, specifically for what's happening right now. I'm streaming Lies of P soundtrack because that's what I'm allowed to stream on YouTube without getting in trouble. And like, I was fighting the good fight for a little bit, but also like at a certain point, it's like, is it worth it for me to like have to monitor that for half the stream rather than just streaming? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to have to deal with the fact that like I can't stream whatever I want. So that being said, it's like what I can stream is this. And I like this soundtrack, but this isn't what I'm normally listening to all the time. This isn't on unless I am streaming. You know what I mean? And because I'm streaming for honestly not that long. I stream for like 3 hours every 4 days. Sorry, not every 4 days. 3 hours, 4 days a week. That's like 12 hours. Okay? And it's not like it's just the Lies of P soundtrack, but like all of the soundtracks that are in this playlist that I play for streaming showed up on my Tidal like rap thing. So I was like, I guess, like I have like 3 songs from like Baldur's Gate on here. And for some reason, Baldur's Gate was like my number 5 most listened to album. And I was like, are you serious? I don't know. So like for that reason, because I'm like, we usually do like the family account because my wife also uses this and like I use it, and sometimes I let someone else in on it if they're interested. I might just make another account strictly just for stream because I'm like, I don't really care about like, I don't know. Is it worth it? Do I care that much about like, no, I kind of do. I enjoy seeing what I've listened to the most. I do enjoy it. And I think there's nothing wrong with saying that. I enjoy it, man. I like it. I like being reminded of the music that I've been hearing over the years. And I think that by doing it this way, by streaming this music on Tidal, I ruin that experience for myself. So if I can make another account without paying any additional money, I may as well. I'm not even gonna pretend like I don't care, because I do. It might be a little silly to care about, but I don't care. I don't care that I care. I don't care that I care. Yeah, so I guess that's another little feature. But I feel like that's kind of the thing, is it's like these are younger platforms. They have not been around as long as Spotify. Spotify's been around for so long. And I remember when Spotify sucked so bad. Like, I remember getting it and thinking, oh, this is gonna be sick. And then I was like, this sucks, dude. This sucks. Like, this sucks poo from my butt. It's like so bad. Why does this hand suck? All right. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Can I turn this off for a second? Yeah, I think when I add the details, it'll be fine. Okay. What is that? That is one of his tentacles. Oh, you guys see that? That's so weird. I've been having that happen more and more. I had that happen in like Arc Raiders a few times, and I thought it was an Arc Raiders problem. But now that I'm drawing and seeing that happen here, I'm going, something tells me that's not good. Honestly though, so one of the main reasons I really want to get a job sooner rather than later. I'll just be real. When I got laid off, there was some slight good news, which was that I had this bonus that was a retention bonus. They were like, which is weird. It's weird to get a retention bonus and then sooner rather than later get laid off. Because I was like, huh, you guys really want me here to the point that like you will give me money to stay another year. But then you'll lay me off before that year's over. Don't ask me. I didn't make that decision. I took the money and was like, okay, sure, okay. But that being said, like that retention bonus, I still have it. But I was kind of like, it would be a good idea to hang on to this money in case it suddenly becomes rent money. But because I got laid off rather than I quit, I get to keep that retention bonus. I don't have to give it back. Whereas if I had quit, I'd have to give that money back. And it wasn't like a crazy amount of money, but it was a good amount of money. Like it was good enough that like I could buy myself something nice, like really nice. But I didn't spend any of that money really. I think I spent a little portion of it on something important. I don't know what it was. Not something fun. I don't remember. But anyways, I'm like, I would love to get a job because there's like a decent list of things that I would love to buy that I just don't feel comfortable buying right now because some of them are expensive and not like I can hold out without getting them. I'll be fine to like not get them right away. Try doing something like this. Yeah. All right. But one of those things would be like maybe building a new computer. Because the truth is that this computer, I always shit on my computer because I'm like, it has really good parts in it, and for some reason it still sucks. And I think that's more of an issue with like how like inefficient, untested some of these things actually are. You know, and like that's both software and hardware. You know, you have games that are like, you just have designers or like game developers, I guess, that just have no idea what like game optimization is. They just don't even, you know, that's why you have these like games that are like suddenly hundreds of gigs for no reason, you know? I remember seeing a headline that was like, Helldivers 2 is now down to like 25 gigs instead of 128 because of a port, like a porting company. And I was like, are you serious? Like, that's insane. That is crazy. That's crazy stupid to be that big just because people don't know how to do that, you know? But also, like, it's not profitable anymore, I guess, to do that for most, like, PC games. You know, so these developers of, like, these big companies, it's like, it doesn't even matter if they optimize the game at all. Because, like, storage is kind of, it is pretty abundant, you know? It's like, I haven't run into the issue where I'm like, oh, this game is too big, I have to uninstall another one. You know, I still haven't run into that. You know, and I've uninstalled games that I'm done playing. I do that in general, but also like I've never run into the issue where I'm like, dang, I have to make a choice. You know, so I don't know. Like, it doesn't help that like all of these companies, hardware and software included, just don't really optimize their stuff anymore. And like in some ways I'm like, man, maybe if I get a new computer, it actually won't be that much better in general. I don't know. But that being said, this computer, as much as I shit on it sometimes, it has actually done a lot of work. Like, this thing, for a solid 2 or 3 years, was like on every day from 7 to 7 or later. Like, this thing is always on, it's always running. So like, the truth is that it's actually served me very, very well. But I run into a lot of really strange issues. And it's probably because it's so overworked, man. It's so overworked. You think you're overworked? Try this computer, bro. Because this computer has been fighting for its life for like years. And honestly, my estimate is generous. It's being like a little bit conservative. So, I think part of it is like some of these parts have been worked so hard, they kind of just need to be retired a little bit. And I wouldn't get rid of the computer or anything like that. I think honestly what I would do is just like maybe having like it kind of depends on a couple of things. Like, if I get a remote job that like lets me use my own computer, I would actually prefer doing that because I have all this stuff that I can use already here and really easy and accessible, and I know how to work my computer and all that stuff. But I'm also like not gonna install your like spyware software into my computer either. So like I'd just give me the other computer instead. But if I work a job where it's like, no, you're gonna have to come into the office, or you're gonna have to like use our computers that we provide you, um, then maybe I have okay. Sorry, I never even explained what I was trying to say. The job where I can use my own computer, maybe I would just have like a work computer and then one that I use for my own stuff. Okay. If that's not the case and I have to use a work provided computer, then maybe what I would do is like a stream computer or a game computer or something like that, where like I do drawing on one and gaming on the other or something. I don't know. I can kind of like just figure that out. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, okay. I was a little confused there. I was like, what did I draw? I don't understand. Because this is part of the wing here. So I don't know. That's kind of one of the things I was thinking about. There's a lot of other random stuff I was thinking about, like just some household stuff. Like, I would love wooden cutting boards. I would love wooden cutting boards because we use a lot of plastic ones and we've used them for a long time. And I know enough about food safety to know that like at home, you shouldn't be using plastic ones. You should not be using plastic ones at all. If you don't know this, so in restaurants, they're pretty much only allowed to use plastic ones. And the reason why is because they have higher food safety standards. And so you're like, oh, well then doesn't that make sense that if I want higher food safety standards, I should use plastic ones? No, because restaurants have to like bleach their plastic ones and use all these chemicals on their cutting boards in order to clean them to the standards of their government regulations. Okay? You don't do that whenever you're at home. You don't use these crazy ass chemicals to clean your cutting boards. You probably just wash them, which is fine. If you're using a wooden cutting board, you can just wash them and be okay. But if you just wash plastic ones, over time, those little grooves that you make when you cut are going to have like bacteria and mold, and it's gonna start getting gross and disgusting. And I'm like, I don't want that, so I want wooden ones so we can replace these stupid plastic ones. Because yeah, we've just had like a huge set of plastic ones for a long time. But I'm like, it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna get really gross, and I don't want to use them like that. You know what I mean? So that's on my list right now. It's like wooden cutting boards. And this is just like some random stuff. Like I would love a new decent belt. I have an old belt, like an old belt from when I was like 14. Because I remember when I was 14, I had this belt and it was way too big for me. And now it's like a regular adult size on a regular adult. So I can use it, but it's like, it's worn the fuck out. So it kind of does need to be replaced too. A lot of little things like that I'm like, I would love to just get a job so I can be like, I got a job. I don't got to worry about rent right now because I have a job that'll pay my rent. And this is what I will spend my money on. But also, I mentioned this, I think, on stream before. I used to work at a grocery store a lot. So, I got pretty good at doing that job. And so that is kind of like my final backup plan is, I'll just work a grocery store job if I can't find like a regular design job again. Because things are pretty rough out there. And honestly, I just don't have that much luck with, what is it called? Any job that like, I don't have a recommendation from. I have a really hard time with them just like contacting me back. Oh my goodness, I'm about to get my phone blown up. I'm telling you right now. There's a certain amount of people in my there's certain people in my friend group that I'm like, these people will send like 12 photos in just like one go. And also when they send text, they send like 3 texts. They break it up. And that bugs the hell out of me, man. That bugs the hell out of me. Like sometimes it's all right to like send 3 texts. Like I get it. You know, but I'm like, oh, when you're always doing that, it's like, dude, like I already get bothered enough by like a ton of emails from like 3 different email accounts that are mostly just like marketing and like stupid crap that like isn't necessary, that I always unsubscribe from anyways. Like I don't need people blowing up my stuff, you know? And like social media is even worse, man. Social media will give me so many notifications and it's just junk. It's not even like, oh, this person liked your post. It's like, we think you'd like to follow this it's like, I don't care, dude. I don't care. Hey, would you like to watch this video? No, dude, I would not. Stop doing that to me. Like I constantly have 6 notifications on my screen at all times. It's like, leave me alone. Anyways, enough complaining about friends. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So like, one of my backup plans is like I could just work a grocery store job or something if I really needed to. Because I'm gonna make ends meet regardless, like, you know. And eventually I'll find my way back into the jobs that I want to be working. But it may not be like at the right time. The most ideal time, I guess, for me, you know, it might be a little bit more based off of the way that the world's going. It could be a lot longer than I want it to. So, but anyways, there's also like print jobs that I think would be a little bit easier for me to do because I think I'm actually a little overqualified for those, but they seem pretty abundant. So I think that would be like my first backup plan, is like, this is still at least doing something where like it's relevant to what I do, and I might like still learn something out of it. Oh yeah, here they come. Here they come. The worst part is that it's in a group chat. So I'm like, oh man, it might be a lot. It might be a lot of messages. But yeah, I mean, I think there was a reason I was even gonna talk about jobs, and I don't remember what it was. I don't remember at all. Oh, because I wanna have my little wish list. But I feel like it's not stupid, useless stuff. Okay, can I turn this off and just kind of see what I'm looking at? Not that. Needs like a little bit more. All right. I think we can make this work. Let's just get working on the... Oh, I hate that part so much. Sorry, I'm trying to check the tone on these. Looks like he's 80. And I think your hair is 80 as well. So select all that first. Make sure we got just about everything. All right. Select all this and that and this. Are the wings also 80? No, the wings are not 80. His gums are, but we don't see those right now. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I go back and forth, which is, I think, a normal thing to do when you're like looking for a job. Because sometimes I'm like, oh my god, the world's like at the worst it's ever been. I'm never gonna get a job this way. I'm gonna rot at the bottom of a sewer. But also, I'm also like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm just taking a moment to freak out for a second, which is all right. It's all right. I am like fortunate enough to have saved up enough money at this last job that I can coast for a little bit if things don't go my way. But also, like, worst case scenario, like, I am also lucky enough to have a parent with an extra room. Granted to be quite crowded, but worst case scenario is that, which is, you know, if you were talking to a boomer, they'd be like, oh my goodness, but it's like, come on, we're Gen Z and millennials around these parts, dude. We know the reality is like, that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal. You know, if you're not living with your roommates, you're living with your parents. Ain't that the way of the world? Honestly, though, I feel like that's probably good for some people. Although I hear like more and more roommate horror stories as I get older. And that doesn't surprise me. But I don't know, it's just is it 20? Is it 20 that I gave him last time? I think it might be more than that. Because I think 20 is too light. It might be good for some people just because I feel like people don't have a lot of social interaction. And they should. They should. It's good for you. Let's check this page out really quick. Oh, it's freezing on me. There it is. Is that the same as this? It is. Okay. Let's take the water. And let's make it this. Then we'll adjust a little bit too. Ooh, maybe that's a little too dark. Okay. We gotta do this first though. All right, we do that. Should be good. I don't know. I could be wrong and stupid. So I'll throw that out there. I very much could be wrong and stupid in that nobody's getting any sort of benefit at all from having a roommate, aside from the financial gain, I guess. Which, is it really a gain? Is it really a gain? I don't know. What I do know is that this fella needs to, his arms are dark, right? Yes. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I didn't mess that up before. It might be easy if I take this and I make a selection out of this. Yes. 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 And then we can. Wait. What am I doing? Get rid of this. Just do it like this real quick. Yeah, more people need to acknowledge sometimes that they could be wrong, stupid idiots. It's fun. It's fun. You know, it sounds harsh, man. It sounds harsh. But like when I say something and it sounds really definitive, I love to immediately be like, I could also just be like the most wrongest, stupid idiot that you've ever met in your whole life. By the way, I could maybe be the dumbest person you've ever met in your whole life. Is that cool? Are we cool with that? You know? Right? Yeah, that's cool to say. Maybe it needs to be a little darker. I like that better. And I never added the little details there, huh? Okay. I'm missing his gills. I feel like there should also be like some of this going on here. I'm gonna emphasize his weird shape there. Okay. Okay. All right. We need halftone to make this look a little bit more correct. Also, I'm gonna hit save because I haven't saved this whole time. Anyways, talking about something that is not what we've been talking about much at all, at least recently. The new videos that are gonna come out, it's more that Matisse's stuff, which I was pleasantly surprised to see doing pretty well. People seem to like it, and obviously the one that like randomly popped off was the Matisse's orange video, and so I was like, hey, you know, like I won't expect another one to do all this well, because none of the other Matisse's orange stuff did super well, like that one big one. But I was like, try it again, see what happens, maybe. So I'm trying it again, and honestly, I think I did something kind of sick, man. I think it's kind of sick, if I do say so myself. And also, Auntie Basement thinks it's sick. So, you know, that's nice. That's nice. That's encouraging. Because it was one where I was like, no, yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. And then I cooked up a little more, and I was like, oh, yeah, I think I've got it. I think I've got it, man. But, yeah. I think it's gonna be cool. And honestly, I have to record the like voiceover for it and put it out and all this stuff. But like, you know, it could be something that does fairly well. And if it doesn't, you know, it's probably just gonna be par for the course, which is okay. I think if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'll get somewhere. I don't know where, but I'll get there. Okay. And I think this wants to be a little darker there. And then we work on our big bad fella. All right, I'm gonna quickly take a small break. Okay, all right. Back here. Like I thought, stream is probably not gonna be that long. So I think I might end up just finishing this. What's the next panel, real quick? Just show me. I might be able to finish the second one. I might, or the third one, I mean. I am working on the second one. Cause like around like 3, I do have to kind of go. When do gotta go? Which is my normal leaving time. It's just that I started a little later. Damn, man, I wish I could stream a little more, man. I really do. Okay. I'm just trying to quickly finish this so I can kind of get as much done as I possibly can. My wife is coming home early. And normally that's not a bad thing, but I had a lot that I wanted to get done before she got home. And now she's coming home early, so I'm like, oh great, like there goes my plans. I'm very much a wife guy, you know, but saying that stuff kind of makes it seem like, ah, great, the freaking wife's coming. It's like, no, I just there's a lot of stuff I want to get done, and now I'm like, well, I just got 30-minute notice. Got 30-minute notice that she's gonna be home, and I got like 2 or 3 hours worth of stuff that I was supposed to do. Oh well. Ain't that how it be sometimes, though? Ain't that how it be? Let's erase this little bit there. I always try to figure out what this guy is saying in the chorus, and there's another version where I think a woman sings it, and I still don't really know. It could be like in a different language for part of it, and I just don't know. Like I get that, I can understand that, right? But he says like, not scared anymore, right? He says not scared anymore. But the part right before that, I'm like, what are you saying? If we're here, we are not scared anymore. I'm like, what? What? Most of the other songs that are in English, I can kind of get the lyrics pretty easily. But that one, I'm like, what are you saying, man? I don't. I'm trying really hard, but like, it's like I get certain parts, and then I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening? And it's not even the way of like the most like pop songs where you're like, oh, I don't really know what she's saying because like there's so much noise, it's like not really deciphered. I'm like, I feel like I can hear you enunciate, I just don't know what you're trying to say. Okay. What is the text that shows up here? What? Did I not write it out? Oh no. It's okay. I'll just bring it up real quick. Chapter 1, pilot. Come on, which one is it? This one. This one right here. Oh lord. Oh lord, that's a lot of text. I see. Okay. Alright, bear with me. Okay. Okay. There's more here. Okay. Just do something like this. Maybe like that. I think it needs to be a little bit bigger than that. There we go. I think that's fine. Okay. Got not a whole lot of time left, but this is a very easy piano. So we can do this. All right. Ugh. I carried like 100 pounds of sandbags, and like my right shoulder is like kind of rough. This might be a little unnecessary there, but whatever. Okay. Okay. All right. We got him. We got him looking the way we want him. All right. Try a little bit of cross hatching with this. Nothing too crazy. Okay, can I remove that for a second? Because now we gotta work on the detail of the gums, which is kind of the most important part. And also the teeth as well, I guess. Teeth are a little easier. We can fill this too. Just trying to move quickly. And I always feel like she told me 30 minutes she'll be home. But I always feel like it's earlier. I feel like she always tells me something and it's always a little earlier. I think she always overestimates her traffic a little bit. Better than underestimating it, I guess. Traffic around here is pretty bad, pretty bad. I don't like that. It'd be more like this, I think. Okay. All right. He looks nice and hideous. We fill these gums in this eye. Let's go 95, and we have to turn down. We'll turn it down. That's fine. All right. Almost done today. Almost done today. Yeah, we gotta turn down. And then he gets filled in with about, we'll do 20 textured. Background is gonna be like 100 textured. And then we can grab the selection, okay? And then remove this whole part. And then I think it's about 40 textured. Okay. It's looking good. Throw this on here. I'm gonna throw a little bit on to the gums as well. We're gonna mimic it with the halftone as well. Okay. But the teeth could have a little bit. I think we can use a small halftone. Like a small halftone size. Okay. And then do that. Let's go with the 85 here. Can we do that? Let's throw in some of this. A little bit of detail around the actual eye itself. And the pupil. And then the text, which is actually going to be hand drawn. Let's get rid of the tone really quick. Ooh, that's a pretty big brush. Let's try something a little different then. Distress maybe? No. Photocopier. I like that. I like that. . Let's move this over a little bit here. All right. Okay. Let's move this over. And then we can do this. Do this. And then last but not least, increase the size just a little bit. Boom, boom, and boom. Okay. That's our work for today. That is our work for today. Well, because I've got to go cook up some more sweet content for y'all, I have to go. But I appreciate you hanging out. I will be live tomorrow. It just will also be a short stream because I've got the art market. So hopefully that goes well. Hopefully that goes well. That's it. That's it. That's pretty much it. So I'll see you tomorrow. See ya.